What's up, Libra? How are you guys doing? It is time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's going on with you guys in the second week of August. August week 2. Remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, quick, general, energetic overview. If you need to find out how to schedule a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I also have a link for that right down here in the description of this video. Okay. I don't want to do a bunch of babbling. I got a lot of work to do. Let's see what's going on here. What can we tell Libra, universe, for the second week of August? What can we tell Libra for the second week of August, universe? Show judgment reversed. Unfinished business. Hang on. Six of Cups reversed. Unfinished business. A grudge being held. Guards are sky high here. A lot of tension. Lot of tension. But I don't know. This is weird because, and this is some of the most Libra shit I've seen all month long. On one hand, you know, the guard is 10 miles high. On the other hand, kind of getting over this, right? Flippy floppy. My OG followers know what that means. Libra, flippy floppy. You know, your scale is so off balance, you know? You take one stone off of this side, it goes ka-clunk. You take one stone off of this side, it goes ka-clunk. You know, one day your guard's up in the air, the next day you're getting over it. I don't really think you're 100% sure exactly how you feel about this, do you? Kind of feels like a conversation is on the horizon, though. Kind of feels like it. There may be a clearing of the air conversation. There may be. But I'm seeing an awful lot of healing energy in here too, though. But Knight of Swords, Five of Wands reversed. That looks like a beef squashing conversation, right? An air clearing conversation. So, that's good. That's good. At the end of the fucking retrograde, man. At the end of the heaviest retrograde I've felt in at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Since 2023, I haven't felt a retrograde this heavy. Whoo! Shooey dooey and Louie. Anyway, okay, I didn't really say a whole lot. That's kind of boring, actually. It doesn't look like y'all are coming together, though. I wouldn't say that. All right, some of you dealing with an Aquarius. Who else do I got here? That's it, Aquarius. Okay, could be anybody. That's just an energy. Let's see how this person feels about you and what their feelings and intentions are. Ooh. Now, this is an interesting depiction of this, but this is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, for those of you who don't know, is the sneaky, deceitful, lying little sack of shit of the tarot. Not the only one, because we have the Seven of Swords sister energy, the Five of Swords, but the Seven of Swords could be argued to be worse. I don't know. I think the Seven of Swords is worse because Seven of Swords is just straight up out and out. You know, Five of Swords is more like it's not beneath me, you know, to do something shitty and shady. If I have to, I will. But Seven of Swords is just out and out. You cannot trust that person at all. So, I think they've been planning and scheming for the right opportunity to approach you, but they haven't seen that. Right? They haven't seen the right opportunity to come forward. So what does that mean most of the time? Especially those of you dealing with somebody you fell out with in a bad way. What would you think somebody you fell out with would see as a good opportunity to come forward? Could you think of what that might be? A point of weakness, right? A point of vulnerability where you got a big chink in your armor and you're easily suggestible, vulnerable, malleable, impressionable. There's a lot of people out there who sit around and wait for situations like that to swoop in because you're vulnerable, you're weak, you know? So the good news is that means probably nothing bad happening to you, or if it does, you're not televising it to the world. You know, a lot of people out there who televise all their problems to the world as if anybody cares, you know? I know that sounds horrible, but most people are entertained by it. Honestly. Most people are very sick, and they're glad you have problems. I don't know who needs to hear that out there. Those of you who love to post all your boohoo shit. Oh, most people are very, very sick and miserable, and they love watching you suffer. So, anyway, though, I don't think anything's bad is happening to you. But if they see what they would consider to be a good opportunity, they would come forward. But, yeah, I think you got a real good idea where that would go, don't you? Or I hope you do. You know that this is this person's energy, right? Devil card, 7 of Swords. This has been weighing on this person. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. They want to act like they don't give two diddly dog shits. But oh, they give plenty of diddly dog shits. So, yeah. And the game player card. Well, yeah. It looks like if I had to say that somebody is a sack of shit, that's all the energy I need to say that. Oh, yeah. And the 7 of Cups. Trying to find somebody new. Right? You know the rest. Hang on a second. This energy's getting heavy. Hang on. Before it gets any heavier, let me clear the air real quick. Like I said, I think this person is planning on a conversation. The energy is looming for it in the air. But I don't know if this person sees the right opportunity to do that. So let's grab the advice. What's the advice? Ooh, Tower. All right. So you, on your end, don't be in such a hurry to rush in and extinguish the flames of the tower. Especially those of you who have already done that 2 or 3 times. I know I got a couple of you in here. I know there's a little handful of you in here who've been around the block with this person a few times already. Lightning strikes the tower. You rush in there, you extinguish the flames, start painting the walls, replacing the furniture. Pow! Lightning strikes the tower again. You rush in, you extinguish the flames, start repainting the room. Pow! Been on and off several times, right? Let the tower burn to the ground, okay? Let's say you do want to bring this person into your life and build a successful tower, right? You're going to have to clear the old energy out first, meaning let the tower burn to the ground and focus on cleaning up the mess. Because even if you did want to bring this person back into your life, you're still going to have the old mess cleared out so you could lay a solid foundation this time. And maybe you could build a tower with a fucking lightning rod. But if you don't, it's just going to keep doing the same old shit all over again. Um, yeah, if for whatever reason, let's say worst case scenario, something happens in your life and word gets down the grapevine to this person and they're like, ooh, here's my chance. And they just so coincidentally just accidentally happen to bump into you, or you just happen to cross their mind in the middle of you going through some shit. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Don't let nobody come into your life that you're unsure of while you're at a vulnerable place. I don't think the majority of you are going to have to worry about this. I'm just throwing this out there as a just in case, you know. There may be one of you who, you know, ends up going through some shit. And then this person finds out. And like a vulture, they swoop the fuck in. Be careful. I wouldn't even do it if I was you. I wouldn't even do it. If I'm in a weak, vulnerable place going through some shit, and somebody who already fucked me over before tries to come back being all sweet and nice, you can fuck right on off. No, not right now. Now's not a good time. Okay, careful. That kind of leaves us at a cliffhanger there, doesn't it? I honestly think this is one of the types of situations. I know I say this a lot, but this is like, especially with this situation. You know how I tell you all a lot that the more healing you do, the less interested you become in revisiting the past? Well, this is one of those types of situations that I can almost guarantee you. It's not just a possibility. You got a 99% chance of, once you do just the right amount of healing from this situation, you will have absolutely no interest in revisiting the past. None. You know, depending on the situation, it can kind of vary, but with this kind of situation, once you cross that line and you do just the right amount of healing, you're going to be like, fuck that. Fuck that. I have no interest in reconnecting with this person. So, I'm not saying make that the goal, make healing the goal. All I'm saying is, I can guarantee you, if you make healing your goal, you will have no interest in even talking to this person. Hey, maybe you could try to prove me wrong. Focus on your healing. Okay? Whew, let's see what's going on with the singles and your love interest. Anything good happening? Any love offers being made? Woo! Knight of Cups. Looking like somebody coming forward with a love offer. Cool. Good dealio. Let's get some rainbows and unicorns up in here, man. After all that tower card, devil card bullshit. But then the Empress reversed. Dadgummit, dadgummit. And the Three of Wands. So I'm kind of feeling like an offer's being made here, but it doesn't really look like things are taking liftoff. What's going on? Why does that doesn't make sense, man. Why does that happen that way? I don't know who's extending the offer and who's accepting it, but if you ain't ready to boot, scoot, and boogie and hit the ground running, you shouldn't be extending or accepting any offers. I don't know who it is that's putting the brakes on this shit. Somebody is, though. Somebody's making an offer. The other person is accepting it. And one of the two is putting the brakes on it. I don't know who is who. I'm going to have to see this person's energy. Got the Lover's card there, too, indicating a really intense connection. Really intense. So, okay. Well. Let's see how they feel about you. Do they got feelings for you? Do they see themselves with you? Ten of Wands reversed. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. I love it when shit comes out that I'm not expecting. That's like my favorite thing about reading. It doesn't happen very often. About 85 to 90% of the time, when I start shuffling, I get a real good idea of what's going to come out. I don't know how I know. I just kind of know. I just feel it. And I love it when shit jumps out that I'm not expecting. Like I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm feeling where this is going to go. And then a card jumps out that goes, nuh-uh, we going this way. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Keeps me on my toes. I wasn't expecting that 10 of Wands reversed. Okay, 2 of Swords reversed. All righty. Well, here's the thing about this individual here. Well, first of all, some of you could be dealing with somebody who's been single for a really long time. I know that may not be all of you. But for those of you dealing with somebody who's been single for a really long time, I think they're rusty. You know, they don't really know how to function with somebody else up in their business and shit, you know. But I'm thinking that this is more along the lines of this individual doesn't want to be a burden to you for whatever reason. They have lots of shit that's weighing them down. And it's not that they're trying to hide anything from you. They just don't want to run you off, you know. I don't know what kind of baggage they have. I don't know if it's just vibrational baggage or like baggage, like baby mama, baby daddy. I don't have any of those cards here, but you never know. Whatever it is, though, I think that this person is afraid that once they open the door all the way and let you all the way in, that whatever burdens that they're carrying that you don't know about might send you running, you know. And I know that feeling. That's a scary feeling. Like when my wife and I went to get my kids back, you know, we'd only been together 6 months when we got the call. We need to come get the kids. And she's like, okay, let's do it. And I'm like, oh shit, my kids are wild, dude. Oh shit. You know, I was nervous. I'm like, oh shit. But she's been going 150 fucking % since day one. She didn't take off running, you know. I get the feeling. It's a scary feeling. When you don't know, oh, you know, this is when it comes down to business. So you just got to step back and just say, well, let's see. If you're my person, you'll handle it. If you're not, you won't. And it is what it is. You just kind of got to let it happen. So that's where I don't really agree with this person here, because all you're really doing is like putting it off. You're just procrastinating it. You're just putting off what eventually is going to have to end up happening at some point. You know, you can't just put it off forever. You know, this is my life. This is the shit I got going on in my life. If you're my person, you'll deal with it. If you're not, you won't. And it is what it is. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to chase. If you don't want to deal with it, I guess bye. But this is it. This is what you got with me, you know. So that, I think, is the approach they probably should take. But again, like I said, some of you are dealing with somebody that may be a little bit rusty when it comes to having somebody like in their life. So, okay, not bad. Not great, but it's definitely not bad. Look, y'all, a lot of people don't believe me when I say this. I hate negative readings. I hate it. You don't know how depleted it leaves me when I read a negative, nasty reading. I hate it. You know how many days I will sit here and procrastinate for hours because I don't want to turn on the camera and pull in a bunch of negative fucking energy. And I will put it off and 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 put it off. I don't like it. I hate it. It's so uncomfortable. It's so heavy. But I gotta do it. It's my fucking spiritual calling. It's my job. It's my mission. I have to do it. You know? I'm an honest reader. I read what comes through. Nothing more, nothing less. So when I get a good lighthearted reading, oh, it feels so good, man. I love it. Let's fuck. Let's see how this is gonna play out, I guess, for the next 60 days. Hang on, did I see a super chat come through a second ago? Yeah, okay. I don't know how to say your name. Krenisha? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. How's this going to play out? Boom! Chariot reversed. It's just not really moving forward, man. Not really. Ace of Wands. See, look. Somebody's trying to put the brakes on this. It's, see, the Ace of Wands upright with the Chariot reverse. That's kind of like taking off driving down the road with your e-brake pulled up. It's like having your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time, you know? And that will fuck the vehicle up. It'll fuck this energetic vehicle up too if it keeps going on like this. So let's get the advice. Boop, boop, be-doo. What's the advice? Doodle-doo-doo-doo, 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 boo-doo-doo-doo, doodle-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. What's the advice? Ten of Swords reverse. Okay. So this is a tedious situation because where do you draw the line between being patient and making sure that, because yeah, one of the most important things that you have to do when you bring anybody new into your life is you want to make sure that they know that they are safe to be themselves around you, right? I don't care who you are. That's your fucking responsibility. If you want to have a good connection with somebody, it doesn't matter if it's a friend, lover, family. If you want a good connection, your responsibility is to make sure that person feels safe to be themselves around you. If they don't feel like they can be themselves around you, well, then the connection ain't gonna go nowhere, right? But then at the same time, if I do every fucking thing I can to make sure that you know that you can be you around me, I'm not gonna look down on you, you know? And you're still scared to let your guard down? At what point do I draw the line and say, okay, well, enough is enough? I mean, we can't let it linger like this forever. You're going to have to let that guard down at some point. It's going to be scary no matter what. Even when you meet your divine life partner, the one person the universe picked for you, it's still going to be scary to let that guard down and let them in. Because you're going to have to let that person in at a level that you ain't never let nobody in your life. And that's scary. I don't care who the fuck it is. It's scary. Right? It's scary. So, but it's got to happen though. It's got to happen. Ain't no connection. Friend, family, divine life partnership, no connection going to sustain longevity on this energy right here. So, yeah. That's tricky, man. That's tricky. Whenever you do go to express your concerns, be sure you're paying very close attention to how you deliver that message. That's another thing that we as individuals are responsible for. Is if I have a concern with you and I'm actually out to solve the problem, then I'm going to be careful how I deliver the message to you. Because if I'm trying to solve a problem, I'm not going to come at you offensively, right? I'm not going to come at you aggressive, angry, emotional, because all that's going to do is trigger your defenses. And you're going to defend yourself. And that's just going to cause a fight. We're not going to get anywhere with that, right? It's just going to start a fight. It's going to go nowhere. It's just going to make things worse. So express your concerns like a calm, cool, respectable adult. And step back and see how they respond to that. See if they make any kind of effort at all to alleviate your concerns. I'm not saying that they have to flip a switch and turn into the idealized version of who you want them to be overnight. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what we're looking for, we're doing one simple little test of character here. One simple little test. And the test is, I'm just curious to see how much you care about my feelings. Just a test. I'm not going to demand anything, because either you care about my feelings or you don't. I can't force you to care about my feelings. If you don't care about them, then that's what it is. But I'm just curious. I want to see. So I'm going to let you know something that concerns me, something that bothers me. Just going to let you know. I'm just going to put it out there so you know it. And then I'm going to step back and I'm going to see what you do. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. That's all I'm going to do. If you just ignore it, let it go in one ear and out the other, or especially if you try to make me feel stupid for it, that tells me everything I need to know. You don't give two fucks about my feelings. Okay, all right. That's what it is? Okay, cool. Deuces. Later. I ain't gonna demand shit out of you. You know? You can't demand that somebody feel a certain way. You know how another silly ass thing I see people do all the time is people demand apologies. Isn't that about the stupidest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life? Demand an apology. An apology is nothing but words. That's all an apology is. And what are the words? I'm sorry, right? Being sorry is a feeling. So demanding an apology means I'm demanding that you feel sorry. Or am I demanding that you say you're sorry, whether you feel sorry or not? So which is it? Am I demanding that you just say you're sorry, even if you're not? So I'm basically demanding that you lie to me? Isn't that fucking stupid? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of in my life. Don't apologize to shit if you're not sorry for it. I don't care what you did to me. I don't care if you fucked me over royally. If you're not sorry, don't pretend to be. Don't apologize for nothing you don't genuinely feel sorry for. You know? You can't demand that somebody feel a certain way. You can't demand that somebody see things a certain way. You just can't do that. If that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. That's what it is. I'm just going to have to fucking walk away from you then, you know? Let people do whatever they want. And they'll show you what they want. And then when they show you what they want, believe it. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Libra family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down there in the description of this video. I'm going to get out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.